Hello friends, welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Welcome to a Code Katas Chill stream where I will be cleaning things up. Well, we're gonna break things down one step at a time. We're gonna solve these katas, you and I. We're gonna break things down one step at a time. We're gonna solve these katas, you and I. Code Wars, Code Katas, Code Wars, Code Katas, Code Wars, Code Katas, yeah. I got a new ukulele. It's a kitty cat. Cool, welcome to the stream. So yeah, this is basically going to be some cleanup. So I have in total done 23 episodes of Code Katas. And if you look at the Github repo, it is not that organized. And before I get any further, let's say hello to all the people in the chat. Hello, Joshua Ferris, welcome to the stream. Hello, Lai. Hello, Andrew Lane. Hello, Isaac, who's going to participate today. That's awesome. Hello, Chad. Hello, Skelly. Hello, Rand. Hello, Auka. Hello, Rabbitworks. Hello, Mahadi. Everyone was not expecting the ukulele. Cool. And if you look back at some of the older episodes, I actually used to start with a guitar intro, but then I had broke my wrist at one point and stopped doing it. But I got that uke, so I'm going to maybe play the ukulele a bit more now. But yeah. If you look at the GitHub repo, it's github.com/codinggarden/code-katas. It has a lot of stuff in there, and it's all of the folders have the date that the episode occurred on. And that's sort of hard at a glance to sync that up with the actual videos. And I also wanted to make it easy to find a specific solution that I did. Because you might be on the Code Wars website and you're having problems with one of them and you want to see if I solved it to maybe see my solution or see how I solved it. So my to-do is first we're going to rename all the folders to match the show number. And then the main README will have links to all of the show numbers, including links to specific solutions. So at a glance, you can just see all of the shows and all of the solutions. And this might take a little bit longer. I don't know if I'll do it live, but I would like to link to that solution in the video because it is possible to link to a specific timestamp in the video. So it would be cool if you could see all of the solutions, click one, and you instantly go to where I'm solving that one. And then that leads into potentially some sort of mini app. So some way of sorting and filtering the katas. Maybe we can use the GitHub API to list the contents of a folder. Maybe we come up with some sort of naming convention for the solutions so that they link to a specific solution. I don't know. We'd have to figure that out. But there's more people joining. Let's say hello. Hello, Yossi. Welcome to the stream. Yossi says, did Dan Schiffman inspire me? He sort of did. So I played the guitar on my stream, but then he started playing the ukulele on his stream, and I've been wanting to get one since then. Yeah. Hello, Brandon. Welcome to the stream. Hello, JT. JT is saying, please use ISO 8601 date scheme. I'm actually just going to get rid of the dates altogether because for someone that is coming to it, it doesn't exactly have that much meaning. I guess you could look at the stream date of any specific video, but I'm just going to get rid of the dates altogether. Rabbitworks is asking, what chair am I using? It's just your regular, plain old, generic gaming chair. Which actually reminds me, I was thinking of doing a CJ's Favorite Things episode where basically I just show all the things that I've bought off Amazon and things that I use and stuff like that. If you'd be interested in that, let me know. I actually got this chair at Micro Center. Let's search for gaming chair. It's the cheapest one you can buy. I think it was $150. You know, it's one of these, but I don't exactly know which one it is. It's the cheapest one. But I don't think maybe it's this one. It doesn't have the same pattern, though. This might be the brand, though. But yeah, just a regular plain old gaming chair. Yeah, and Isaac in the chat is mentioning, let the community link with timestamps via GitHub pull requests. Definitely. So I could set up the README to just have show names and names of the problems that I solved, but then people could make a pull request to like link a specific one to the video. I think I'll probably do that. I do have a another GitHub repo. It's called Community Contributions, and people have made pull requests there to just add timestamps for entire videos, like this one. So if you look at some of the timestamps, some wonderful people of the community actually went through and watched a video, created an outline, and then added timestamps to all the different places in the video. And then I made this a comment on the video so that people that come along afterwards, it'll be really easy to like click through. If you're interested in contributing, feel free to check out this repo. And you can look under issues and see which videos are in need of timestamps. But yeah, that's another pull request thing that people are doing. Alka is saying, speaking of, I guess, Dan Schiffman, he's been recognized in his own stream a couple times. Are you the Alka from Coding Train? That's awesome. And if you haven't checked him out, I think it's twitch.tv/Alka. Check him out.
One of the eight.
And hello, Bob. Welcome to the stream. Yes, Ran is asking, wasn't there a spot you had listed all of your VS Code setup? That's on the GitHub as well somewhere. So I think it's just called VS Code Setup. Yeah, VS Code Settings, that's the one. But if you go in here, you can see the font I use, the theme, all of the extensions I use, and also my settings JSON file. So check that out too. I should be throwing these things in the chat. Let me throw it in the chat. Cool. There's that. Let me throw the community contributions one in the chat too. Oh, Alka's hosting a 24/7 marathon kung fu movie channel. That's awesome. Wait. There we go. So there's a Twitch channel that's streaming kung fu movies? Are they like copyright free or something like that? Interesting. Yes, hosting another channel that's doing that. Okay, so I think I'm gonna get started. We'll probably start with the very first one. And I mean, I think if I just look at the date that is the oldest date, we'll know that that's the first one. So if we look at 4/18/2018, we can just double check. Code Kata's #1, all the way back to April of last year. So let's do this. We're going to rename the folder. Let's just use like I think 3 digits. I highly doubt that anytime soon I'll be getting to my 999th episode. I say that now. Let's use 4 digits. So like 0001. Should we do show underscore, or should it just be 0001? Yeah. Let me know. What makes the most sense for a naming scheme here? 0111 show. Should it be 0001 and then the date? I kind of just like doing that, because if you're on the GitHub repo, you know what these things are. Or it could be like episode underscore. I guess the other thing is, if I'm going to somehow use the GitHub API, I would do like a directory listing. Yeah, let's do episode underscore. Yeah, because the episodes don't really have a title, because it's just a collection of solutions. Like, I started to go in and rename the title with all of the different ones that I solved in that episode, so it'd be easy to find from like a YouTube searching perspective. But the title gets way too long, way too fast. I stopped doing it after like episode 4. But this would help you find them if you knew what you were looking for. Saying even an episode a week, it would take 20 years to reach 999. Maybe I'll be doing it this long. I think by then it'll be like virtual reality. You'll be sitting in a virtual classroom watching me solve katas. Yeah, 3 digits to do. Okay, so let's stick with 3 digits. And JT did suggest CK_001. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, and I guess that's the thing. The repo is called Code Katas, so you know where you are. I think I'm just gonna stick with episode 001. There we go. Sweet. I'll link it in the description. So we'll do a secondary titled episode 1, and let's link this to the episode 1 directory. Take a quick stretch. Whew. Why not just 001? I don't want it to look too arcane. Like, it'll just be a bunch of numbers in the folder. I guess that's what it is right now because they're all dates. I like having episode there. I don't know. My if anyone like downloads TV shows on the internet, you've probably thought about this before, like how they name the episodes. I don't know, or like name each episode. Yeah, Josh is mentioning, do katas have a unique ID on Code Wars? The unique ID is the name of the solution itself, and typically I try to name the problem the same thing as what's in the URL. I don't always get it right because it's like longer, but I think I'm gonna try to link that here. And so then underneath this, I'll have, and I guess this is the other thing. I don't exactly know what order I solved them in. But I want to link to it here. So we would link to episode 1/akum.js. If we preview this, this is what it looks like. This is what it would look like on GitHub. So let's add the others. You know what? I could probably generate this. That would be something to write, because I could. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna write just like a node script that reads all the directory after I rename all of them, reads the directories, and then like generates the markdown to link to it. I think that's the way to go. Yeah, and JT just said, get ready for Code Katas Season 2. Kata is harder. I've thought about that. Like, I've pretty much only solved up to a 4Q problem, but the higher the queue, the harder they get. Like a 3Q could take me 2-3 hours to solve. Yeah, but I think this is the format that the Readme is going to take, but I am going to generate this after I renamed all the folders. But yeah, let's take a look at like, because usually in the Readme, I guess I didn't do it in the older episodes, but I did used to link to the ones I was going to solve. Yeah. So this typically I see as like, that's the ID, like kata/regex validate pin code. They do have unique IDs. How do I find the unique ID? You know what? I haven't done this, but I probably should create a collection of all of the ones I've solved on stream. But yeah, does anyone know how I can find that UUID? Yeah, I don't know. I've typically just been going by this as the ID. I think I'll stick with that because it's pretty readable. And it hasn't popped up on the stream yet, but super chat from Eric S. Just landed my first dev job, and I have to give some of the credit to you. I've learned so much from your videos and streams. Thanks. Appreciate it, Eric, and that's awesome. Good luck with the new job. Glad to hear it. Cool. I think the ID comes from having solved it, so view solutions. No, it still has that in the URL. I really should look, does Code Wars have an API? Because JT just suggested, what if we wanted to get like the queue number from the API as well? Because then you could sort by difficulty. Let's see. Get user completed challenges, get code challenge. Yeah, and this lets you request it by ID or slug. So I think as long as I have the correct slug, which is this thing, then we could request the difficulty and all of the information about it from the Code Wars API. That's cool. Let's make a note of that for later. Okay, but I think my first step is just going to be rename all of the folders. I'm going to get that done. Then I can write a script to list out the folders and output some markdown. And then from there, as long as we have all the slug names right, we can get info from the Code Wars API to show like queue number. What else does it have in there? It has difficulty, who it was created by. It has the description. This would be a nice little app that includes descriptions and includes links to like the video solutions and stuff like that. Cool. All right. Hello, gaming, but not really. Did I say hey? But if I didn't, hello, welcome to the stream. Okay, but let's just rename the folders. So this should be the next one. And this one doesn't have a README. That's unfortunate. But X's and O's, yeah, so this is it. Let's rename this to episode 002. There we go. And then this should be episode 3. No, don't delete it. No, I almost deleted it. Okay. Episode 4. I hope this lines up. I hope there wasn't an episode where I accidentally didn't like upload the solutions. I don't know. Oh, you're right. We should zero index this. But I'd have to go and rename all of my YouTube videos because I did start at number 1. I'm not going to zero index it. Okay. Episode 5. Usually I link to the solutions. Yeah, 516 is episode 5. Cool. Make a joke 000 directory. Yeah, why not? Episode 0. I got an idea. These are not the joints. That one. This one. That's a really long image. Can we upload it to Imager? There we go. These are not the droids you're looking for. These are not the codes you're looking for. These are not the katas you're looking for. I don't know. I'm going to keep moving. Yeah. Oh, that's true. The episode 0 can include all of the scripts that I'm going to write. I like that idea. Okay. This should be episode. You know what? I'm gonna rename them and hope that they're in the right order and I didn't miss any. If we get 23 total episodes, we're in good shape. Episode 10. Episode 11. Episode 12. Episode 13. Episode 14. Episode 15. (17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22). Okay, there's the correct number of folders. 19. Wait, no. 18. Episode 19. Cool. Kaizen just said React 16.8 was finally released. Is that the one that includes hooks? That's pretty awesome. Andrew says, I would have made a script to do this. Honestly, though, I think it's like, sure, you could have organized by date, and then renamed it, increasing from 0. I think it would have been faster to do this. I am, however, going to create a script to, oh no, did I mess up? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, okay, never mind. 21. 22. And episode 23. Was that really back in January? Well, I guess, I mean, it's only just February. January 16th. Another super chat from Jeremiah LaForge. These videos have been awesome. I got the head start I needed here to learn React, and now I'm finally doing front-end dev at work. That's awesome. Thanks to you, I can be more creative in my work. Only so many ways to connect to a database. This is true, but that is awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, we're here. Someone's asking, but the reason I didn't write a script because I feel it was faster for me to just rename these manually than to write a script. But I do want to write a script that generates this. So basically, I'm going to write a node script that lists the directory contents and then generates some markdown that says like episode number and then links to each of the solutions. I think I'll hope for pull requests where people can probably organize them in the order that they were solved in the video and add links to specific timestamps. CJ is now rich. I'm getting there. That's pizza for tonight, dinner. But yeah, congrats, Jeremiah. That's awesome. But yes, I'm gonna write a script that basically generates this with links to every folder, links to all of the solutions, and with the episode number on it, all in a ready to go README file. So let's do that. Generate readme.js. Okay, so I'm going to bring in FS, which is file system in Node, and I need to list the directory contents. Let's see. fs.readdir, and you get access to all the files. Let's do that. I actually saw there was a, I think built into Node now, depending on what version you're using, there's a Promisify. Yeah, util.promisify. let's do that. So because fs dot, that's not it, fs dot reader is actually an asynchronous function, and it takes a callback. So I think you give it the path. So I actually want to read, I don't know if I can do this. Can I say go up one directory? I don't know. Let's see what happens. Encoding will be UTF-8, and then you give it the callback. So typically you give it a callback where you get error and like files, which is an array. So this is like callback style. First, let's just see if this works. I don't think it will. I think I have to use like the current directory variable to be able to do this, but let's see what happens. Actually, if I ran it from this directory, I could just read the current directory, but we'll see. Oh, that worked. Huh. Quick stretch. Oh, Alka is saying FS now has promises built in to it. fs.promises.reader. Hey, that's nice. Okay, so we can actually use this. Let's do this. We'll require so I'm going to do some destructuring to bring in fs.promises and just call it fs. And then I should be able to do this. And really, can I use async function? Make async functions? Let's see. Now if I await this. Yeah, so await is only valid in an async function and in version node 11. So basically I just need to wrap this in like an iffy. So an async little dilly like that invokes itself. I could also use read directory synchronous, but we'll do it asynchronous. Hey, cannot destructure property promises of undefined or null. I did that wrong. This just needs to be this. There we go. Cool. So promises is a property that's inside of the object fs, and I want to rename it to be fs. So that's great. Okay, so I read all of the directories. Now I basically want to... well, I read all of the files in the directory, which may or may not be a directory. But I want to read all of them starting with episode. So let's do files.forEach. Let's just call this directory. Just do like a simple if. If directory dot starts with episode and directory does not equal episode 0, because I don't want to read this one. We'll just log the directory. So that should filter out everything except for the episode directories. Cool. So now we have each one. And warning, fs.promises API is experimental. That's fine. We're just experimenting. Yeah, Alka is saying you do... Yeah, there was a question as to, is there a way to tell reader to only give us directories? But Alka is saying you really just have to filter them out. Kaizen is pointing out there is a stat sync.isDirectory function. I don't really need it in this case because I know that everything that begins with episode is a directory. If you're doing some like other type of processing where you may or may not know something is a directory, you can definitely use that. I think we're good with this. Now we just need to read all the files in this directory. And I'm thinking I don't want this to go out of sync. Like, I don't want to have episode 5 listed before episode 1. But I think using async await here should work. We'll see. Okay, so we have the directory. Now let's do another read directory to get all of the JavaScript files. Yeah, and there's a library for globbing, which is the idea of, you might have seen this before, like */*.js. So in any subdirectory and any of its subdirectories, give me all files that end with a JS. There are libraries that will do that for you. I don't think I'm going to reach for any library right now, though. Oh, I like that. So Alka is mentioning you can pass in options to fs.readdir. And fs.dir, maybe you meant directory options. So instead of just getting strings, you get like full objects. Let's look at that. Node fs.readdir. I just want the actual node docs. This one, yeah. Yeah, and what is a dirent? When fs.readdir or readdir sync is called with file type set to true, the resulting array is filled with dirent objects. Dirent.isDirectory, that's nice. I think, again, I don't really need this. Yeah, I don't need it, but it's good to know that we have it. But now that we have the directory, I am going to just read the files in it. So we'll call this solutions are going to be await fs.read dir, the directory name. Again, we want it as UTF-8. And let's just log the solutions. Let's see what happens. Await is only valid in an async function, then we need to make this for each an async function. No such file or directory episode. Oh, I need to do .. directory name. Because we're running this from inside the episode 0 directory, so it needs to go up one and read that directory. There we go. Cool. So for each directory, I'm now getting a listing of all of the solutions inside of it. And now I can start like building up a Readme. Let's call it like table of contents. And that's just going to be a string. So here we'll say table of contents plus equals. First we need to get the episode number. We can get that from the directory name. So let's say const episode num is going to be directory.replace episode underscore, and we'll turn that into a number by just putting the plus sign in front of it. So we'll give this thing a title. We'll do like a template string. So here we'll say episode, and then we'll throw the episode number inside of it. And then we want to grab all of the solutions that end with JS and add them as bullet points. And I guess we also want to link this to it. So this should link to / directory. And then right here, we'll do like another template, and we'll say solutions.filter. Name ends with .js. We only want the JavaScript files. and then we'll map that. We'll grab the name, and we'll replace .js with nothing to remove the extension, so it's just the name. Don't forget to replace that with empty string. Let's clean this up. So only grab things that are JavaScript. Take all of the names and replace the ending with nothing. And then now we're going to join them all together with a new line, a star, and a space. I think that will do it. And we would start this whole thing with a star and a space. I guess the only thing is, this is now, it's asynchronous. So, we won't know when it's going to be done. So let's do this. Instead of doing a for each, we'll do a map, and we'll have to promise.all it. And we'll await for all of those things to be done. And then we will just log table of contents. Now, I wrote all of that without even trying it or without even checking the chat. But let's see what happens. Nice. Assignment to constant variable. I need to make that a let. Okay. Yeah, and I guess that's Alka is making a good point. If we made this instead of, like, I was using a for each or instead of a map, if we make it a for loop, it's going to wait inside of the for loop. That way it won't be in any random order. But let's make that a let. Look at that. We did it. Let's see if it's in the right order, though. So episode 1, episode 2, episode 5, episode 3. Yeah, so it's in the wrong order. If we make it a for loop, we can be sure that it is in the right order. Cool. So yeah, let's do that. So we have a for loop that goes up to the length of the files. And then all of this code can go into wait, what is this curly brace for? That's the if statement. Yes. All of this code goes into the for loop. So that should now, this should now be in order because this await is inside of the for loop, so it'll actually wait before it goes back around to the next iteration of the for loop. All right, let's see what we get. Cool, and it should be in order now. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. Cool. Yeah, I could use a for of loop. Why not? For for const directory of files. Should do the same thing. It's a little bit nicer to look at. Awesome. Okay, we also need to link the file names to the actual JavaScript files. So we'll do that here. So let's make this a template literal. And we want the name to be there, but we're going to wrap the whole thing in brackets, so it's a link. And we want it to link to /directory/ the name, because that'll link to that specific file. Yeah. So now each one we can click on, and it should take us to that that solution in that directory. Cool. That's great. We did it. Now I could write something to like output it to the README file. I'm just gonna copy and paste this. Yeah, so I'm gonna take this. We have our main README here, and I'm just gonna put it in right there. Look at that. That's nice. If we preview it, what's it look like? Yeah, so episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, etc. Cool. Oh, I guess that's true. Josh was saying you could make an async function that actually makes the template string and then you await that. I don't know if that would work inside of the not a for loop though, because the functions being called from a map would be asynchronous themselves. Yeah. Yeah, I could output this to a file. It's gonna replace my to do though, is the main thing, because I had this down at the bottom. I could read it in and then put it on the end. Yeah. Here's one thing I want to do though. Let's add a link to the entire video at the top of each list. It's not going to be a link to a specific solution, but you can click it and then go to that video. Yeah, Alka is saying, like, I already got rid of the dates though. We could get it from potentially from the YouTube API, because what I was thinking right now is we use the YouTube API to get all of these links, and because we know there are 23 episodes, we can instantly say like this is episode 1, episode 2, and put the links to the videos in the README. Let's see. We could watch the network traffic. I could also look up the API for it, but let's see what happens. No, I think it's somewhat server-side rendered. Okay. YouTube API get videos in playlist. Yeah, I won't have to use page tokens because it is giving us up to 50 videos. Cool. I'm gonna have to get an API key, but playlist ID is going to be this. Yeah, I need to get an API key. Use the code Katas playlist. They should just be able to use a template string to say the episode number. You mean this one? Oh, like index. Hey. Yeah. I think that could work. I don't know if you need to know the video ID to do it though. So let's say if I say watch and get rid of the video ID, say like index equals 7. That does not work. So I think you do, in order to link to a video in a playlist, you do actually need to know the video ID. I think that's what you were talking about, Joshua. Ahmed says, keep up the good work. Thank you. I will try. Yeah, so I think we still need video IDs. So yeah, let me get an API key. I'll hide my screen for a second. This one should be okay, I think. What? I might have an existing API key in here. I think you saw the names of my projects, but not necessarily my API keys. Okay, yeah, so this key does have access to the YouTube API. We're gonna try this API key. Here we go. I could make this request from my code. I don't want to have to hide my API keys or anything like that. So I think I'm just going to copy, like you can't see my screen yet, but I'm just going to copy this JSON output and put it in a flat file. But let's look at the data that we got back. Let me close my API key stuff. So there are 24 total episodes, because if you're including 23 episodes plus the current one that are in the playlist. And we get the publish date, so that'll give us the date of the video, so that's nice. We get description, which we don't really need. And we get the video ID, so we can actually link to YouTube. Okay, so let's just look at the raw stuff. We'll copy this, and we'll just put it in a JSON file in that folder, and then like read it in. That goes there. We save it. And then in here, we can require it in. Wait, here we go. It has an items property. That's going to be all of the items, and I think they're in the right order. Cool. So let's just grab items out of there, rename it to videos. And right about here, we should be able to get the video link. So it's going to be videos at the episode number -1. Because the episodes are numbered 1 through whatever, but this array is 0 indexed. So this is going to be this object dot snippet dot resource ID dot video ID. So we need snippet then we need resource ID. Let's do this. And then we need video ID, like that. So that should give us the video ID. And then we'll add an item here, watch on YouTube. And this will link to the video ID with something in front of it. No. Like, show me the... Hello, Willie. Welcome to the stream. YouTube just froze on me. Come back. Yeah, we need this part here. I think that's the one. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I think that did it. So we see watch on YouTube, and then we see a link. Is this episode 23? Why, yes, it is. That's nice. That worked out. Skelly saying use the API key in the link at line 3. Here? No, so what I did was I just downloaded the JSON file. So at this point, we don't need the API key anymore because the JSON is just living inside of this folder. The thing is, I really only plan on generating this once, and now ideally after every episode, I'll just manually update the README with that day's contents. Hopefully I'll be good about that, but you can make a pull request if I'm not good about that. Hello, Luis. Welcome to the stream. I missed this earlier, but Gaming But Not Really asks, what is an API key? Typically, services require that you create some sort of unique key in order to get data from their API. That way they can keep track of how many requests are being made and potentially like block that key if too many requests are being made or if you go over your quota. I think with the YouTube API, you're allowed like 1 million requests a day. I would never reach that limit, but certain websites using the API might reach that limit and then they have to pay more money to get more requests. Yeah. Skelly says, in the tab of the YouTube API request. Oh, this one. No. Yes. You can see my API key right there, which means that I need to revoke it. Yes, thank you, Skelly. Yeah, that could work. Yes, as you're pointing out, this is my API key. Please don't use it. I'm going to revoke it anyways, but yes, that is my API key. But Josh was mentioning you could use YouTube Download Core, which is a node package, to make a service that like updates GitHub, like updates the README whenever something on YouTube happens. Yes. Let's look at that library, like what's possible with it. Yeah, I've seen this before for like downloading videos. I guess you are you saying I could get like the playlist info without an API key? It's possible, maybe. YouTube has PubSub Hubbub. I don't know if I'll need that. Okay, I think I'm in a good spot, right? Like we've got, is this a good format for it though? Should I like put a new line between watch on YouTube and the list? I think this is fine. Let's just see what it looks like in the README. Yeah, so this is what it looks like in the README. You see a watch on YouTube, you see links to each individual one. What if we made these sub items? Like that. What do you think? Alka is saying, watch on YouTube doesn't need to be in the list. Yeah, I think it's a good point. We could put it in the title. The only thing is this links to the page with all of the, like the README, and then this would link to YouTube. Does the episode need to link to the directory? Why not just link to the YouTube video? I think the only thing and only reason I would link to the directory is the README does have the difficulty. However, that's one thing we talked about earlier. We could hit the Code Wars API and then put the difficulty right here, like 4Q. Yeah, I think Alka's suggestion I should do. So it's basically not in the list. It just looks like this, and then the list is below it. Like that. I like that. I'm going to do that. Whoa! Whoa! What just happened? Oh my goodness. Oh, I pasted. I think I accidentally pasted. Okay, don't paste. Just copy. And everyone's... Oh man, I accidentally did it again. Everyone's going to say, this is why you should just be outputting to a file. Okay, fine. I'll output it to a file. Let's take a quick stretch. Right here. So await fs.write file. We'll say contents.markdown. Second parameter is the string that we want to write. Table of contents. And then we need our encoding. And there we go. Cool. We have a markdown file. Here's another question. Should I put them in reverse order? Like, should episode 23 be at the top because it's the most recent? What do you think? Cool. I'm going to go grab a LaCroix, but think on that. Should they be in reverse order? Because maybe you want to see the most recent episode at the top. And then also, Alka has a suggestion where we should put the difficulty. Should it be like after the link? Yeah, it probably should be after the link. So like you have this dash 7Q. So you see the difficulty of that given one. I'll be right back. Tonight I'm drinking tangerine LaCroix. So the question was, should I put these in reverse order? I have 1 vote for no and like 3 votes for yes. Danielle just got here, have no idea what's happening. Basically, I am organizing all of my katas. If you've seen the GitHub repo before, everything was just a date. So I've gone in and I've renamed everything with the episode number so they line up with YouTube. And then I just generated this Readme that shows you the episode and then links directly to each of the solutions of the things that I solved in that episode. I think I'm going to do it in reverse order because the most recent one will be at the top. I think that makes sense. Files.reverse. I think reverse is it is in place. So now, most recent episode at the top. Sort by views. I don't know. Cool. Okay, I think the last thing is we're gonna get the difficulty from the Code Wars API. The only thing is, what if I didn't name it the right thing? Like, what if I gave it the wrong name and then we end up getting the wrong difficulty? I think, like, Code Wars will probably give us, like, a 404, but we can like make a note of that and make sure that we do name it the right thing. Let's look into the Code Wars API. I made a note of it earlier. This thing. Ooh, does it not require authentication? That would be great. Like, for instance, title case. There we go. And this one is a 6Q. This would be nice too, because in the link, we can actually put the name instead of the slug. I don't know how different the slug is. Josh was saying, I do have the difficulty in each README, but I think I kind of want it to be visible at a glance. Like, when you land here, maybe you just want to Command F for 6Q and solve one that's a 6Q. Oh, I like that too. JT is suggesting, what if I literally just do this? That. So everything is unknown, and then people can make pull requests to like fix the name and add the difficulty. Yeah. So Josh was mentioning in the READMEs, I do have the difficulty. I technically could parse this. I honestly think it would be easier to just call the API. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure that when I started creating these READMEs, I got much better about giving the files the correct name. So I might just be better off calling the API. Let's do this. Let's just try calling the API. If we get a bunch of like 404 not founds, maybe we'll leave it up. I think that's what we'll do. We'll try to get the Q value, but if we can't, we'll just throw question marks and it can be updated. Okay. So let's make the request here. For that, I am going to install node fetch. Or should I install Axios? Let's use Axios. Cool. Use request. Is request built in? I would still have to install request, wouldn't I? Yeah, I'd still have to install it. And it's not promise based. I'm gonna use Axios. Come on, man. Okay. So right about here, I need to request the episode info. Oh no, I need to do it inside of this map. What? Okay, I have to do this in a for loop now. Because I need to actually request each individual problem to get its... Like, this needs to happen here. Okay, here's what we'll do. So this is basically the code I need to turn into like a... And it kind of needs to be synchronous because it shouldn't complete until this specific episode is done. Okay, so we add that to the string. Then we need to do this, but we need to do it... in a more promisey kind of action. Alka saying I might need to refactor this. Okay. I think I'm just going to do a for each and not a for each, just a for loop and an append. So, is that lined up right? Yeah. So for const name of solutions. Yeah. We'll turn this filter into an if statement. So if name dot ends with JS, then we're going to do this. Then we're going to say this is basically what we're going to append. So we're going to say table of contents plus equals this, and then a new line. So I'll do this, and if it works, then now inside of the for loop, I can request the info from CodeWars. See you later, Amy. Thanks for tuning in. Okay. So we did that. We look at the generated one, and it still works, so that's a good sign. Now we can make the request out to CodeWars. So this needs to happen in here. Okay. Let's put this in a variable. Let's just call this link. Equals that. And then we can throw the link in here. But we're going to wrap this in a try catch. So we should also put this in a variable. Call it slug. Whoa, what just happened? Because now we can make the request to the slug. I'm gonna grab off data. And we'll wrap this in a try catch. Well, I don't know if it may or may not fail. But if it was successful, then we actually know the Q value right here. So this is going to be data.rank.name. Let's destructure it. Rename it to Q. But let's make sure that we actually get a 404. Success, false, not found. And this does give us a 404. So because it gives us a 404, it should fall into the catch, which will just append it without a ranking. Let's log these out while they're happening, just because. Slug and Q. All right, this could take a while because we're going to be making hundreds of requests to their API. Hopefully they don't rate limit us. Are you ready? Let's go. I think they already rate limited us. Is working? Oh, did we get back null, though? Lame. Let's see. Nice! Sort of. It worked for a lot of them. 7, 5, 4, 6. 6, 7, 5, 5. This one is unknown. Let's see what happens if we try to go there. Not found. Okay. All right. Quick stretch. To know if we got rate limited, we can look at the very bottom. And yeah, so at least we even got a couple of responses here. These just have the wrong name. So it's up to you, the community, to make a pull request that gives these things the correct name and their proper ranking. Definitely. All right, that's great. I think this is good. How long have I been streaming? Also, what time is it? I've been streaming for an hour. One thing we could do is, instead of just putting this into a Readme file, we could put it into like a JSON file and then make a simple little React or Vue app where you can just type the name of a kata and it'll like filter down the list. I don't know. Should I spend time doing that? I also should have like cached all those requests to the API, because I feel like we're gonna get rate limited at some point. Rate limited. Okay. All right. Vote now. Should I build an app with all of this info? This is true. We're building as a community, a Coding Garden app, and it would be really cool to have a section of the app where you could like search for katas or go to a specific section of a video to see a specific kata being solved. Yeah, everyone wants me to build an app. I mean, I should have thought about that from the beginning, because basically, like, while I'm building up this README, I should actually be building up, like, a JSON file as well. Yeah. Yes, build the app. All right, how about I set a 25-minute timer, and after 25 minutes, I'm done. Hello, Maruf. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm going to set a timer, and we're going to build an app. It's going to be super basic. It's just going to be like, it'll basically, the page will load, and you'll see a listing of all of the katas. Maybe they're not broken down by episode. Maybe they're initially it's just like a table of all the ones that I've solved. But then you can start typing to filter by name or filter by difficulty. And those will link to the GitHub. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me set a timer. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Is it a real timer, or is it one like Dan uses that doesn't really matter? I'm going to make it a real timer, because I do have to work tomorrow, so I want to be done coding it by the end of 25 minutes. But if I make myself a quick little to-do, basically, we generated the README. That's great. But I also want to generate like a JSON file. Josh was saying it might be a good idea to make this a sub video for easier finding. build that app, build that app. So like I should stop streaming and start a new video where I build the app. I can also just make a Trello app. Oh, could I please? I haven't really used a PHP or Laravel. Yeah, I'm just killing time. All right. What am I going to do? I am going to build up JSON file. And I think that's how this is going to work. It's not going to be an API. I'm just going to have a flat JSON file with all of the data in it. Each episode, or each solution will have episode number. It will have difficulty. It will have link to GitHub solution, and we'll have a link to the video. Yeah, well, I think, and so JC just made a point, it's going to be hard with the missing data, because we are missing some data. We're missing the difficulty of some of these, but the script I write that generates the JSON file could just be rerun after we have pull requests that like update the names of these things so that we can actually get their real difficulty. But for now, we'll just leave it as blank, and I think that's fine. Yeah, and we could technically just turn this into an API. Like, the reading of the directories, you could do that with the GitHub API. I've only got 21 minutes. I've wasted 3 minutes. Let's go. Generate JSON.js. It's going to be very similar to this, but without all the building. So I'm just going to copy this over. That's going to go in here. But now, instead of a table of contents, I'm just going to have like katas. That is an array. And we'll be pushing katas into this array. Okay. So right here, we'll say video is going to be equal to this. We have the episode number, so that's great. Don't need any of this. I guess the other thing that we didn't get from the CodeWars API, which we should, what's the URL? Come on. We should also grab the name. Yeah. So from this, we can grab name. We'll rename this to kata name. This will be the link, though, so this directory / name, but we need to get the link from GitHub. So like, if we go here and we click a solution, basically the GitHub link is going to be this / the directory name of the episode / the file name. So let's say GitHub URL. is going to be this slash the directory slash the name, because that's just the file name. Okay, so that gives us our GitHub URL. We've got the video, we've got the episode number, we've got the difficulty, and really we should like use a number. Let's get ID instead of name. Name, ID. And here is where we will push it into the array. So we'll say katas.push. We want an object that has the episode num. It has the video. It has the, we'll throw the slug in there, why not? We'll throw the GitHub URL. We'll throw the kata name. And we'll throw the Q in there. Just like that. If it didn't exist, then we'll say Q is null. And kata name is just the slug. Cool. Did I do... I should not use underscores? Is that what you're telling me? GitHub. Yeah, I should be consistent. GitHub URL. Cool. See you later, Kaizen. Thanks for tuning in. All right. Now that we have all of the videos, let's put it to a file. Say katas.json. We'll do json.stringify the katas. And I think you can give it number of spaces, so it'll like format it. Let's see what happens. Go! Yeah, I mean, their API seems to be pretty okay with us making so many requests. We're waiting on the API, waiting on the API, and it's done. Okay, let's look at the JSON. Hey, it didn't format it, but we can format it. So we have episode number, video link, slug, GitHub URL, and kata name. If we copy this URL, well, it's not going to work right now because I haven't pushed up, but it's mostly right, it looks like. Let's not do that. Yeah. This is good. I like it. All right, now let's build an app around it. I will do this in a separate directory. Yeah, you can't clip things like on Twitch. Code katas list. Let's call it that. Let's copy that JSON file in here. To code-katas-list. Put it in there. Okay. What should I what should I build this with? Vue, vanilla, React. Kind of want to use, I'm gonna use view. I'm not even gonna let you vote. I'm gonna use view. Here we go. Is it view create? Oh, I could use the new React with React hooks. I don't know. I've only got 13 minutes. Did I write that command right? Okay, I guess I did. Quick stretch. Whew. Okay, manually select features. We're going to use Babel. We don't need a router. It's just going to be one page. I'm not going to use Vuex. That's all we need. We'll use Airbnb. Go. In the package JSON. No. Oh, JT is mentioning add an empty timestamp field. You can construct everything else off of this. Yeah, so that way when people start adding timestamps, we could add it in. I'm going to go with this for now because the timer's running down, but that is a great idea. I think one thing I'll need to do is just make a contribution guideline, like make sure that if you're making a contribution, you rename the file to the valid kata name, you add the timestamp from the video, you link to it, all that good stuff. But cool. Let's open this up with code. This is our app. We're just going to throw katas in the source directory. Got our app.view. Just throw like nh1. Hello world. Let's get rid of all these extra components. Get rid of that component. Get rid of all the styles. Are there any other styles? Let's just get rid of that entire component. This is going to be one giant component. I think we're good. No, I need to cd into there. Serve it. Hello world. Cool. Should I use Bootstrap? I don't think I'm going to use Bootstrap. Okay, so I need some basic styles. Let's say for ID app, font family is sans serif. What do we get? Nice. Okay. We want like first let's just list all of the katas. So I believe we can just do an import katas from assets. Is that where I put it? Oh no, I just put it in this directory. So let's just do katas.json. And then when this thing is created, can we just log the array of katas? Does that work? Look at that. There's 102. Wow. Cool. Then now let's just show them in the view. So I can actually just put them directly on data. So data is a function that returns an object that has katas on it. And then here, we could do a table. I think we'll just have a div for each one. We'll just do divs. So we have a div, and we want to repeat it for every kata in the katas array. The key is going to be the slug, because that should be unique. Kata.slug. And then inside of here, we'll just do like nh3 with kata.kata name. Hey. So we've got all the kata names. I think we'll just put links below it. So well, let's put the, maybe we'll put the difficulty beside it. We should put it like a little badge. We'll put it before it. Math.absolute value of kata.q. What does that give us? Yeah. And if it shows up as 0, then that means it's unknown. It was like null or whatever. Nine minutes, that's enough time to get at least skeleton CSS. Does skeleton CSS have styles for like a list view or a listing? I don't know if they do. Like, what exactly is skeleton CSS going to give us? I mean, like, we get the grid, but I'm just gonna do my own CSS. Okay, below each one, I want to link to different things. So let's add an anchor tag that says watch on YouTube. And the href here is going to be kata.youtube, or no, kata.video. Yep. Let's open that in a new tab. There's like the no opener. Can opener, what? Is it just noopener? Rel equals noopener. There we go. Watch on YouTube. View on GitHub. And this will be kata.github URL. See what that gives us. Yep. We probably want some spacing. We could like let's just put it on the next line. And then we can put these in a nice little box. What else was in there? We should put the episode number here. Episode 23. Cool. So let's give this thing a class of kata. Cool. Someone give me some style. So like kata should have a border of I don't know, 2 pixels solid gray. Let's see what that gives us. Is it like box? I don't know. Someone give me some nice styles for this. It'll also have some padding. Just like push it in a little bit. Let's just do 1M. Cool. What else was in there? What else do I have in here? I have Kata, GitHub, video, Q. I think that's it. Yeah, now let's just do some filtering. See you later, Jimmy. Thanks for tuning in. I'm not going to use Bootstrap. No, I just regular styles. If Alka is still watching, he can give me some like super basic, make these boxes look nice. Okay, let's add a little search box right above here. V model is going to be search. Hey, Alka. You remember when you gave me styles for Meower? I could use some styles. Right now we got a box with a gray outline. What can we do? Let's also say that input has a width of 100%. It's nice and big. Padding of 0.5 em. Just that. And also margin. There's a little bit of spacing. Let's only give it like 80%. Cool. So I can search for like remove and it'll start filtering it. So search initially starts off as empty, and then we can have some computed. Let's say filtered katas is a function. If this dot search dot trim is not a thing, then we'll just return this dot katas. Otherwise, we're going to return this dot katas dot filter. We're going to grab each kata. We're going to return kata dot kata name dot match. We'll create a regular expression with the search. Should probably escape it. I don't know. Global case insensitive match. That. So now, if I say remove, no, that didn't work. I need to, in the view, now instead of filtering over katas, or iterating over them, we iterate over filtered katas. So if I search for a rot13, why are all those other ones showing up? What's happening? Remove the minimum. Am I matching on kata name? Weird. Maybe it's some weird regular expression thing. Oh. No. I was saying, like, I'm not modifying the array, am I? I'm filtering it. What is happening? Strip comments. Remove the minimum. Title case. Title. Regex. Why does it break when I type rot? I guess we could just do includes, yeah. Let's just do that instead of like a regular expression. So send it to lowercase, and then we'll create this variable. To lowercase. Oh, duplicate keys detected, rot13. Oh. Okay. Was it in a different episode? That's super weird. Like, that's why the filter stops working, because it detected two things with the same key. Okay, so really, this needs to be the slug plus the episode num. Actually, if we set it to the GitHub URL, that should be unique. There we go. Yeah, so episode 8, I did rot13, and then I did it again somehow in episode 23. I don't know how that happened. Cool. Border radius on the search bar. That'll like make it rounded. I'm out of time! Oh well, I think this is good enough. I think one last thing I want to do, I'm going to give myself 3 minutes. I want to add buttons for all the different queues, and if you click a queue, like 6Q or whatever, it only shows the ones that have that queue. Cool. Maroof is linking some styles. Let me check them out. What are these styles? You have unordered lists and list items. I'm not using those. I'm just using divs. So I think I'd probably have to change them to list items. I could, though. Okay, but yeah, what I want to do first before I add any extra styles is I want to add buttons up at the top. So let's do this. Computed, let's say queues. And this is going to be just all of the unique queue values. So we're going to return an array. Basically, I want to filter out and get all of the unique queue values. So I'm going to have an array. I'm going to spread a new set with this.katas, but I'm only grabbing the queue from each kata. So if we iterate over the queues right here, this can just be a span. Queue and queues. Has it already been 3 minutes? There's no way. Let's see what this gives us. Yeah, so 7, 5, 4, 6, 8. Cool. Let's sort them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's also take the absolute value of them, so they're all positive. Cool. We want these to be like on the next line. Yep. And really, I guess we want them to be buttons. And so like if I click this, we should only see ones that are 4Q. I mean, really, this needs to be like a inclusive selection list, so like only show me 4, 6, and 8. Cool. I'm out of time. How long have I been streaming? 1 hour and 44 minutes. I need to stop. Let's see. I think Alka just shared something. Oh, that's beautiful, Alka. I love it. All right. But you wrote the HTML with Pug. Now I'm going to have to convert it. Is it the same HTML that I wrote, though? I think it is. Yeah, it is. And you wrote it with Sass. I think my Vue app automatically supports it, though. Oh, you didn't do anything special. Cool. So what you're telling me is drop the BRs. And then in my styles, did that do anything weird? No, it didn't. Okay. We got rid of the border on the katas. If it's not the last child, we're giving it a nice little red bottom. I like it. Anchor tags get a block, so that way they take up the whole line. Also, smalls get a block, so they take up the whole line. What do we get? Nice! Look at that. That's awesome. Okay, I can't, like, these... I'm not gonna make these buttons. I'm gonna make these, like, little divs. But they'll be, like, inline block. Ugh, quick stretch. Yeah, the key here is just going to be the Q because they're unique. Let's give this a class of Q. Cool. And let's say Qs have inline block. Display. Cool, so they show like that. Padding 0.25 M, just so they're like spaced out a little bit. And we'll say like background is gray. Margin 0.25 M. More padding. I think by default they don't have a background, but they will have just like a little border. That thingy. Okay, and so if I click one, its background, like the class will change, so the background color will change, and then we'll filter so those are the only ones that are showing. So let's create a class called like selected, and it will have a background of this color. And a color of white. So if we add the selected class to one of these, they'll change to look like they are selected. Okay, now we need some logic. So when one of these queues is clicked on, we need to add it to the list of selected queues. What happened? Yeah, some weird linting stuff happened. But let's say we click this, and we'll say toggle queue with the queue. And so then we'll need a method toggle queue, which takes in the queue. And we'll say this dot queue selected queues at queue equals false. One thing we need to do though is we need to create this before the app even starts. So let's do this. Queues equals that. And then we'll just throw that on data. And then selected queues is basically we're gonna like make an object where all of the queues are the keys and the value is false because initially they're all not selected. So this is just gonna be queues.reduce. We get it all, we grab that individual queue, and we say all at queue equals false. Return all. Reducing to an object. What are you complaining about? Arrow function should not return assignment. That's fine with me. Okay, so we have selected queue. So it starts off, everything is not selected. And then when you toggle it, it just changes it to selected. Great. And now we need some logic that adds this selected class if the queue is selected. So we'll do that like this. I think we can do a class binding. We'll say selected is if selected queues at queue is true. What did I break? Cannot read property katas of undefined. Oh, we no longer use this here. Cool. So now if I select it, it highlights because it added it as selected, but then if I click it again, it will unhighlight because it's no longer selected. Awesome. So now all we need to do is take into account which ones are selected in the filter function. So I think we'll do so let's say we typed in remove the minimum. We would only show this if what they selected is there. Okay, so, and actually let's make it all true by default, because then you could toggle them on and off. So by default, they're all selected. And then if I don't want to see 4 queues, I click these. Okay. So that doesn't need to be there. If it includes, so we want to say if this.selected queues at kata.queue and the name matches. And then otherwise, we're just filtering all of the ones that have the selected queues. So we'll say kata this.selected queues at kata.queue. Cool. Wait, why did they all disappear? We default them all to true. And if selected queues, is it kata.queue? Do I have that wrong? Oh, because it's negative. Ah. How about this? How about we don't take the absolute value here, but we do take the absolute value, and yeah, we are taking the absolute value when we show it. No, here. There we go. Shows nothing. Okay, show me only the 4 queues. Sweet. Show me only the 5 queues. Sweet. Show me only the 7 queues. I like it. Cool. And of these, we can search, like, within them. Cool. All right. I think that's it. I'm done. I'm going to deploy it. I haven't been looking at the chat because my phone died. Cursor pointer. Yeah, you're right. So a queue should have cursor pointer. Like that. Nice. Cue the queues. Great stream, man. 2 a.m. in Brazil, so perfect to end of the day. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna deploy this. What just happened? I think I tried to click a link. And huge thanks to Alka for making these awesome styles. I think this fits. It has like the red color, very similar to Code Wars. I think this is great. Maybe we add a title to the page because we didn't exactly do that. Just like an H1. And maybe we put some text here. I don't like that 0 is at the end. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense because 0 just means that it's uncategorized, meaning we don't know what the actual queue value is until someone updates it. I mean, that could be me, but someone might make a pull request. Cool. All right, I'm going to deploy this. And then I'll stop streaming. I guess that's a good point. Alka's saying, what if we showed a question mark instead of a 0 or unknown? I like that. Can you have a -0? I don't think it is, but I'll just do like a simple ternary. if Q is equal to 0, then we'll show a question mark, else we'll show that. Wait, where was that happening? And also, oh, if Q is equal to null, that's what's happening. So if not Q, show question marks, and then same thing down here. Quick stretch. Else that. Yeah. Wait, what? Now none of them have it. I think it's if... Oh, kata.q. Here. There we go. And then we can only show the ones where we don't know what they are. All right. Now we build it again and deploy. One thing I just thought of, though, we should probably link to Code Wars as well. Watch on YouTube, view on GitHub, view on Code Wars. I think it would be easy enough because we have the slug. I'm not going to have to recreate the JSON. Like, let's just see. Like, if we go to a specific kata, like this one. Yeah, we should be able to just link to it with the slug. Watch on YouTube, view solution on GitHub, and then another one that's solve on Code Wars. I think we can do that and throw in kata.slug. And really, we can only do that if the queue exists, because if the queue doesn't exist, then it's the wrong link and it's going to take them nowhere. So let's just do vif kata.q. Yeah, and Josh was saying if kata.q does exist, show the link. What's with the fancy quotes in rel no opener? Oh, it's because I copy pasted it. I should probably fix that. I copy and pasted that from an article that was talking about rel no opener. Okay, solve on Code Wars. And it should take us there. Cool. But if we look at ones that don't have a queue, then that means that the slug is wrong, so we can't link to Code Wars. All right. Okay, finally done. No, npm run build. Cool. Maroof, you're very welcome. Thanks for tuning in. All right, we're gonna go into dist and we're gonna deploy this with now version 1 because I don't feel like creating a config. Alias that to code katas. Has anyone taken that domain yet? No, it's mine! Haha. Sweet. We're on the internet. Oh, somehow I'm not logged in. Here, let's do this. Mute. There we go. That was fun. Thanks so much, everyone. So I'll commit this to GitHub, and then the repo itself will be in a nice orderly fashion. I'll be open to pull requests where people can submit fixes to katas that are named the wrong thing, and so basically, if you want to make a pull request, you should rename the file to be the same slug as it is on Code Wars, and then add the actual difficulty from Code Wars. But I'm leaving that up to the community to add there. Yeah, I'll push all this up. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. Until next time, here's this.